time, we will now introduce the seniors. Senior, Maddox Anderson. Maddox has been on the varsity cheer team for 4 years. She was co-captain and captain for senior. Maddox plans to senior, Maddox Anderson. Captain Lexi plans on attending a Sophia has been cheering for 2 years. Sophia plans to attend a 4-year university and track. Senior Sophia Lotus. Senior Julia Hayden. Julia is being escorted by dad Joe Hayden, mom Kristen Hayden, sister Chloe, and brother Jake. Julia has been cheering for 2 years. Julia plans to attend a 4-year university, majoring in industrial engineering and minoring in finance. Senior. Senior Captain Gabriella White. Gabby is being escorted by dad David White, mom Kristen White, brother Eric White, and grandma Judy Frank. Gabby has been a 4-year letterman on the cheer squad. Gabby plans on attending a 5-year program for physician's assistants. Senior, Gabby White. Now to introduce the seniors for the football team. Senior, Mike Bendekovic. Mikey is being escorted by his parents, Mike and Melissa Bendekovic, and his sister, Maddie. Mikey has been a member of the varsity squad for 4 years. After graduation, he plans to study at a 4-year university to major in civil engineering and continue his football career. Senior, Mikey Bendekovic. Quinn Connolly. Quinn is being escorted by his parents, Landon and Jennifer Connolly, and his siblings, Landon Jr., Amelia, and Ronan. He has been on varsity squad for 4 years. After graduation, Quinn will attend college to study engineering. Senior, Quinn Connolly. T. Mason Dixon. Mason is being escorted by his mother, Dee Dixon, father, Tyrone Dixon, and brothers Tylen and Tanner. Mason's future plans are to attend a 4-year university and continue with his football career. Senior, T. Mason Dixon. Noah Healy. Noah is being escorted by his father, Frank Healy, Jr. He has been on the varsity squad for 2 years. Noah plans to attend the police academy after graduation. Senior, Noah Healy. Cole Hiltz. Cole is being escorted by his parents, Doug and Melissa Hiltz, and his brother Noah. He has played on the varsity squad for 4 years. Cole plans to attend a 4-year university to study business and criminal justice and continue his football career. Senior, Cole Hiltz. Brennan Hudson. Brennan is being escorted by his parents, Jonathan and Tammy Hudson. He is a 3-year member of the varsity squad. Brennan's future plans are to attend a 4-year university. Senior, Brennan Hudson. BJ Naslin. BJ is being escorted by his parents, Kurt and Jamie Naslin, his brothers Brandon and sister Maya, and his aunt and uncle, Matt and Angelina Green. BJ has been a part of the varsity squad for 4 years. After graduation, BJ plans to attend college and major in pharmacy. Senior, BJ Gaston. Tyler Andrusik. Tyler is being escorted by his parents Joe and Emily Andrusik and brother Ethan. He is a four-year member of the varsity squad. Tyler plans to attend a four-year university and major in accounting while continuing his track and field throwing career. Senior, Tyler Andrusik. Stephen Rutherford. Stephen is being escorted by his parents Doug and Ann Rutherford and brother Michael. He is a four-year member of the varsity squad. Stephen plans on attending a four-year university and majoring in mechanical engineering. Senior, Stephen Rutherford. Brandon Anthony Singleton. Brandon is being escorted by Derek Wilson. He has been on the varsity squad for 4 years. After graduation, Brandon plans to attend a trade school for carpentry. Senior, Brandon Anthony Singleton. Carson Stewart. Carson is being escorted by his father, Russell Stewart, his mother, Rachel Simpson, and sister Jada. He has been a member of the varsity squad for 4 years. Carson plans to attend a four-year university and major in safety. Senior, Carson Stewart. Santino Ulizio. Santino is being escorted by his mom, Shannon Marie, dad, Steve Ulizio, brother, aunt, Mimi David, and cousin Roman. He has been on the varsity squad for 2 years. After graduation, Santino plans to attend a trade school. Senior, Santino Ulizio. Jaden Underwood. Jaden is being escorted by his mother, Lindsay Lassiter, father, Patrick Underwood, and sister, Amaya. He is a 3-year member of the varsity squad. Jaden's future plans are undecided. Senior, Jaden Underwood. Andrew Wolf. Andrew is being escorted by his mother, Carla Wolf, and his grandfather, Vince Pasovich. He has been on the varsity squad for 4 years. After graduation, Andrew plans to join the military and obtain a manufacturing degree. Senior, Andrew Wolf. And last but definitely not least, our senior trainer, Mia Eberhardt. Mia is being escorted by her parents, Randy and Diana Eberhardt. She has been a student trainer for 3 years. Mia plans on attending a 4-year university to major in supply chain management and minor in sports management. Senior, Mia Eberhardt. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for all of our seniors at tonight's podcast. complimentary information. Visit them tonight at the bottom of the ramp and Kettle Pop. Thank you. Central Valley Quarterback Club is donating their portion of the 50/50 to the family of Holden Eckler. Holden is the son of Sydney and Brad Eckler. Sydney is a fourth-grade teacher at Top Lake Elementary in our Central Valley school district. Holden, who is 20 months old, was recently diagnosed with leukemia and is currently undergoing treatment at Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. Holden will need a bone marrow transplant soon. If you are interested in being tested to see if you are a match, the NMPP will be testing tomorrow at the Central Valley Wood Warriors games at G. St. Clair Field beginning at 2 p.m. We have also placed donation models at the quarterback club's concession stand for those of you who may not like to donate. Everything collected tonight will go directly to the Eckler family to help pray medical clubs, lost wages, etc. Holden's grandmother, Sean, is here tonight representing Holden, Sydney, and Brad. The Central Valley community always pulls together for their family. No one likes alone. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sawyer Johnson Stadium over the Warriors. Tonight's contest between the Beaver Bobcats and the York Central Valley Warriors. Tonight's officials, head referee, Meredith Zavala, umpire, Michael Whitaker, head linesman, George Ivory, line judge, Matt Richards, side judge, Drew Gordon, and field judge, Bill Kennedy.
tribute to Troy. We begin this evening with a patriotic medley called Main Street America. Please rise and remove all hats for the playing of our national anthem. The Central Valley High School alma mater is being conducted this evening by senior trombonist Dale Work. Please remain standing and sing along to the Central Valley School alma mater.
Central Valley School District welcomes the recruitment teams from Fry Transportation Group and ABC Transit. Both bus companies are hiring bus drivers, van drivers, and attendants for our day-to-day Central Valley transportation needs. For information, visit them tonight at the bottom of the ramp near the pedal pulpit stand. Thank you. At this time, we'd like to introduce the offensive team, led by head coach Colt Rouse. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Because tonight, these Warriors continue their quest to defend and honor this field, their house, from all who come to take it. Tonight, on this glorious senior night, these Warriors are ready for battle. So get on your feet and make some noise for your Central Valley Warriors!
And a pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, as we welcome you to the Central Valley School District YouTube channel. We have a great football game tonight between our homestanding Central Valley Warriors and the visiting Bobcats of Beaver High School. This is a key conference game in the Western Hills Conference of Class 3 AAA. Both teams are 1-0 in the conference, and two of the preseason favorites, if you will, to seek conference honors. So this game can be very critical towards who is crowned conference champions at the end of the season. Beaver comes in with a 3-1 overall record. Central Valley just the opposite, 1-3, albeit the Warriors with a very, very difficult opening exhibition schedule. 3 of 4 on the road, 3 top 5 quality teams in Class 4A, which is now a classification higher than Central Valley and AAA. And the Warriors, it's senior night here at beautiful Sarge Albert Stadium, as the Warriors have, well, actually, they have won the toss, and as normal, Mark Lyons has deferred. Last week, Beaver was very impressive with a first conference win over Hopewell, 49-17 down at Pat Tarquinio Field. And I want to thank the fine folks at Beaver last week for honoring my dear friend and former broadcast partner, Bob Barrickman. They honored him with a memorial plaque in the press box at Gypsy Glen Stadium down on Pat Tarquinio Field. So thank them for the recognition for my dear friend Bob Barrickman. We miss him dearly, especially on a night like tonight. With me being a Center High School graduate and Bob being a Beaver Bobcat graduate, we've had some dinner bets down through the years when these two teams have gotten together, and it's been a while since Beaver and Central Valley have played each other. I believe it's been 7 years since the Bobcats and the Warriors have competed, and that battle was hot and heavy back in the day, and I don't expect tonight to be any different. Great crowd from the folks from Beaver who made the trip down 376, and of course the home standing crowd at Central Valley here at Sarge Albert Stadium, always packed to the gills. About ready to kick it off, Dominic Pratt, the sophomore place kicker. He'll tee it up at the 40 for the Warriors, dressed in their all navy blue, trimmed in powder blue tonight. Visiting Bobcats in the white shirts and the silver trousers. Good return out to the 20-yard line and then brought down immediately. Nice special teams coverage there by the Warriors. With the stop was Aaron Lawson for the Warriors. Beaver will have a 1st and 10. They'll mark it right at the 20-yard line. First drive of the night. Bobcats with the ball. At quarterback will be Travis Clear. Dre Hall and Brady Mayo, two of the backs, along with Quaylen Kane. They have some athletes to these Bobcats, especially Amari Jackson at the wideout position. Very athletic kid that can get downfield in a hurry. Inside handoff to Dre Hall, and he goes maybe a yard, if that, just across the line of scrimmage. Luke Jerevac with the stop for the Warriors. 2nd down, 9 to go. We want to welcome Jim Kirker, our new public address announcer, on the mic, filling in now for the retired Mike Rossi, who did a great job for 40-plus years for Center and Central Valley. Hopefully Mike's going to enjoy his retirement and his fall Fridays being open. 2nd down, let's call it 9 to go. Clear's going to throw it. Mayo with the reception. Mayo with the 1st down and a lot more. All the way out across the 35-yard line. Brought down there by Makai Ahmed. But not before Brady Mayo picks up the big 1st down from Tristan Clear. As always, we want to thank our administration, Superintendent Nick Perry, for his great support, putting us on the air on the YouTube channel. Eddie Miller running the show with the IT department, and my guys Sean Render and Ethan Young. These guys are the real heroes, folks. Boy, they put a lot of time and effort bringing you live sporting events from Central Valley High School, and we appreciate everyone's support. 1st and 10. Hitting the backfield, but breaking tackles after a gain of 1 was Quaylen Kane, a senior. I'll try to highlight all the seniors tonight for the Warriors. Starting with Jaden Underwood, Stevie Rutherford, Mason Dixon, Cole Hiltz, a senior, Brennan Hudson, Santonio Ulizio, Quinn Connolly, Brandon Singleton, and BJ Nastic. We'll get down the rest of them here momentarily. Clear out of the gun, under pressure, has a man downfield. That's going to be Jackson, and he couldn't hold on to it. Great coverage by Aaron Lawson, but that ball was on the money and a catch that Jackson can make. Rounding out our seniors tonight, Andrew Wolf, Tyler Ondrusik, Carson Stewart, Michael Bendekovic, and Noah Healy. So congratulations to all of our football player seniors and also the senior members of the band and cheerleading staffs. 3rd down, 8 to go. Special night to be a senior at home. Clear out of the gun. looking left. Pressure, loses the football. Ondrusik picks it up at the 30-yard line. Tyler Ondrusik's going to take it to the house for the Central Valley touchdown. Ondrusik takes it from 30 yards. We have a flag down on the field at the 45-yard line, so hold everything. But right now, it's a 30-yard recovery by Tyler Ondrusik for the touchdown, but hold everything on this flag on the field. Just a sideline warning. The touchdown will stand. Warriors lead at 6-0.
Sideline warning on Central Valley. The touchdown is good.
So what a big start for the Warriors defensively. Dominic Pratt for the all-important PAT. Ondrusik showed some wheels out there. My man was running. You usually don't see offensive linemen take off like Tyler, but showed some good athleticism. Picked the ball. They call that a scoop and score, and deservedly so. 9:52 to go in this first quarter. 6-0 Warriors looking to add on to PAT. Pratt, the sophomore place kicker. That kick is up and true blue. 7-0 Warriors. So you can't ask for a better start than that, especially when you decide to defer. And Mark Lyons has a history of when he wins a coin toss, he loves to go on defense first. And that turned out to be the right choice tonight, thanks to Tyler Ondrusik and the pressure on the quarterback. My apologies, I missed the pressure on the quarterback. If Sean and Ethan could help me out with that. If you see that, guys, on your replay, because the fumble was set up by the rush coming on the left side of that defensive line of the Warriors. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention my partner, Mike Sullivan, not with us tonight. Mike is away for a family wedding, so Mike, congratulations to the bride and groom, and hope you and the fam have a beautiful wedding and a nice weekend. 7-0 Warriors. What a great start for Central Valley here on senior night, and cannot stress how important this start is, because this conference is going to be tough. These are the two of the favorites, and they got to play the second conference of the year. That's difficult. Of course, Avonworth will be in the mix. Hopewell's coming on stronger. Pratt's kick goes down to the 8-yard line. Kane on the return, breaks a couple tackles. Nice return out across the 25 to near the 30. So Quaylen Kane, a senior, with a nice return for Beaver. Mike Cree on the special team stops for the Warriors. Gets it out to the 30. Thanks to the guy up in the booth, we do have replay on some plays, so we're going to take a look at the pressure. And that was Ethan Shearer who forced the fumble. Thanks, guys. Ethan Shearer, the linebacker, came around the left side to cause that fumble that Ondrusik scored on. Hall with the football, good yardage of about 6. Finally brought down there by the Warriors' Antonio Perry, only a sophomore.
Good for a gain of 7.
A lot of support here for the Warriors tonight, as always, and a lot of support with all of you viewers out across YouTube land. We appreciate your support. One of our Central Valley's #1 fan, David Strasser. Got to give a shout out to Dave. He's usually here in person, but taking it in tonight on YouTube, and you're not going to find a bigger supporter of Central Valley Athletics than David Strasser, a.k.a. Mauser, as I called him growing up, back in the Heights of Monaca. And the Bobcats move the chains. First and 10 out across the 40 for the Bobcats. Beaver led by third-year man Court Rouse, who played for the legend Pat Tarquinio. And you learn from the best when you coach under Coach Tark. Pat Tarquinio, not only a great football coach, he was a better human being. Quayne with the football, and Kane is hit after a gain of 4. Nice yardage stop by Mason Dixon, who Mason had a nice game last week playing for the injured Jance Henry. Mason had 4 touchdowns, 2 receiving for 73 yards and 2 rushing for 112 yards. So Mason, a complete game by Mason Dixon against McGuffey in the big 49-0 win, where sophomore quarterback Braddock Ambrose led the charge with a terrific night. We'll go over his numbers after this play. Run again up the middle, short yardage that time. Braddock's Ambrose, Braddock came on for the injured Steve Rutherford last week, completed 13 out of 15 passes for 224 yards and 5 touchdowns. So good to know that you have a senior leader in charge with Stevie Rutherford and a great backup in the sophomore Braddock Ambrose. Big 3rd down and 4 here for both squads as Central Valley leads it 7-0. Dre Hall goes wide left. They're looking that way, but he's hitting the backfield. With the reception was Jonah Justice, but the Warriors served justice by stopping him for a loss on the play, and they'll force a punt. It looks like we have an injured Bobcat down on the field. Didn't get a number. We'll check that momentarily as Beaver will be forced to punt for the first time in this football game. Micaiah Ahmed will be the lone safety back deep for the Warriors. Warriors have yet to snap the ball on offense. Brendan Alexander with the stop. Amari Jackson back to punt. He's always a threat to take off with it, so I don't know if you do that in this situation at your own 43, but something in the future to think about if you're Central Valley on special teams. Good snap, good kick. Highliner, Ahmed at his own 15, breaks 1 tackle. Got good yardage across the 30 and then out of bounds at about the 33. So a nice return by Micaiah Ahmed. First and 10, Central Valley at their own 33-yard line. Tom Hayes with you tonight. Mike Sullivan with the night off. He'll be back with me in 2 weeks when we host North Catholic. Central Valley on the road at Avonworth next Friday night. Beaver will host McGuffey. Rutherford keeps it, and Rutherford with nice yardage. Gain of about 6 or so. It was a left elbow injury that kept Rutherford out of the game last week, so obviously his non-throwing arm. Gain of 7, 2nd down, 3 to go. 7-0 Warriors on a 30-yard fumble recovery by Tyler Andrusik on Beaver's first drive after the forced fumble sack by Ethan Shear. Jance Henry's first carry. He's got a first down and a lot more, but might be coming back. Looks like we have a flag in the Central Valley backfield. And that will be holding on Central Valley. So instead of a 1st and 10 in enemy territory, the Warriors are going to be backed up to the 31. Make it a 2nd down and about 13 to go. Another warm night for high school football. I'm still waiting for that sweatshirt weather, guys. Shotgun, Rutherford to throw it. Has a man, and that pass is caught by Cole Hiltz. Hiltz, the senior, got almost all the penalty yardage back. Not quite.
bring up 3rd and 6.
Beaver and Central Valley, they've had some epic battles down through the years, and even back to the old Center high school days, Beaver and Center was a nice rivalry. Got a timeout. Did the Warriors take one? They did.
Timeout. Warriors.
So Coach Lyons in his 15th year, what a tremendous job Mark has done with this program. It seems to me that you think back to 2010 when the schools merged, Monaca and Center. It was his football team that united the communities with a championship, WPIL championship in their very first year of existence. Somehow, Mark and his staff and the administration molded those two high schools, and academically it was a big winner for everyone, and that tradition continues under the direction of Superintendent Nick Perry. In the athletic department, led by Sam Sircone, has brought a lot of community pride to Monaca, Center, and Potter Township. And it's been a lot of fun to be a part of Warrior football since 2010. 3rd down and a long 6 to go for CV here. Nice clear night. Really doesn't appear to be a chance of rain. It's warm, but not that awful humidity that we're used to in the summertime. 3rd down, 6 to go at the 37, their own. Motion man is Nastic. It'll be Rutherford on a keeper. Rutherford is going to be hit short of the 1st down. A great individual defensive tackle there by Dre Hall. Boy, this is an area that you see the Riverburgh Gambler, Mark Lyons, go for it on 4th and short. It's 4th and about 1.5 yards. So we'll see if Mark tries to draw them off sides or actually go for the 1st down. We've seen it happen many times. Mark is not a guy that plays it close to the vest. He's a guy that selfishly hates to give up that football. And they will run it, and they will get the 1st down. Jance Henry out to the 45. That's a lot of faith in your running back and your offensive line. And they delivered for Coach Lyons as he showed his confidence in them to move the sticks. Four minutes to go in this first quarter, Central Valley 7-0. And a new Central Valley sign in the end zone is lit up for the first time this season, I noticed. Understand that was part of Michael Bendekovich's senior project. Pass is caught by Nastic, and he's knocked out of bounds after a 1st and 10, down into Cat territory. So B.J. Nastic, well, another senior tonight. We'll try to focus on the seniors. It's their night, and what a special night it is. Down to the Bobcat 42 go the Warriors. Henry breaking tackles. Breaks another one. He's into the secondary down to the 25-yard line. Oh, Henry.
And that's going to be good for another Central Valley Warriors first down.
Now you know he's chomping at the bit after sitting out last week. Jance is a competitor. He wants to be out there in the worst way, and that was a determined run there. Only a sophomore. What a talent. Rutherford throws it, and there's going to be pass interference on the Bobcats. Central Valley might have got away with one there because it looked like it was going to be an uncatchable ball. But nonetheless, they're going to give Avery Skills the penalty for the Bobcats. So that's a big break for the Warriors. Just not a smart play. You could see where the ball was going, way out of reach to the receiver, and then you just push him in the back. It's just a senseless penalty that Court Rouse will not be happy about, I'm quite sure.
That'll be a 15-yard penalty and an automatic
15 yards assessed down to the 13-yard line. Rutherford will go. I thought he was going to go under center, but now I'm not so sure. Officials timeout. That's the delay. Yeah, they wanted to get the sticks right on the far sideline. Henry with the football and Henry with the touchdown. A little bit of a mix-up in the backfield, but Jance Henry will take it to the end zone for the touchdown. 13 yards out. Nice drive for the Warriors. That drive started at their own 33-yard line, so make that a 67-yard touchdown drive for Central Valley. Dominic Pratt on for the extra point, and it's good. Those extra points are so critical. 14-0 CV. They got some fireworks tonight. Oh, my dog Cooper won't like that, though. We just live right across the hill. He'll be hearing those things. But they do add some excitement here at Sarge Albert Stadium. What a great, great football atmosphere it is here at Sarge Albert's. Lights starting to come on here at the stadium as the sun continues to go down over the hills. So we have a defensive touchdown. We have an offensive touchdown. Well, maybe CV will get a special teams touchdown, do the trifecta, and then throw a field goal on top of that. How's that sound? Pretty clean game early on by the Warriors. Not a lot of mistakes. A lot of crispness to it. They know Beaver's a tough challenge. Really weren't challenged on the road down in McGuffey too much last Friday night. The Highlanders were right on the verge of being a double-A school. They had to move up this year. Kick down to the 15-yard line. Kane on the return. He's a nice returner out to the 35-yard line. So Beavers had decent field position. Just have not been able to move the ball to get into the red zone scoring area. Luke Jerevac with the stop on special teams. Beaver at their own 35, 1st and 10. We haven't seen him get the ball to Amari Jackson yet. That's a guy that, if I'm Beaver, I try to get the ball in his hands an awful lot of times during a football game. He's that athletic. He had one opportunity, and that's been it that I can recall. Aaron Lawson had good coverage on him. Timeout Beaver. They were just about to eat up the play clock, and Court Rouse and staff said, hold on, guys, let's take a TO. Well, it's good to see Jance Henry looking pretty healthy tonight after sitting out last week. Stevie Rutherford as well. Steve looks like he's back in the, not 100% because he still has that arm brace on, the elbow brace on his non-throwing arm as a protection. Last week against Hopewell, Travis cleared a Beaver quarterback, threw for 125 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. Amari Jackson that I mentioned, he had 77 yards receiving plus 2 touchdowns. So they have some offensive weapons that the Warriors have to be aware of. 1st and 10 after the timeout. Beaver at their own 35. Pass is complete to Jackson, and he's got about 7 or 8 yards They'll make it 7.
The clearance pass to Jackson is complete.
Well, that's what you do with him. You just give him a quick out and see if he can shake and bake and make a move.
Good
He's
for
that
gain of 6.
dangerous.
2nd and 4. On the 41-yard line.
2nd down, 4 to go. Gain of 6 they give him. Another pass to Jackson. He's got a 1st down, knocked out of bounds at midfield. Well, actually stepped out before midfield at about the 47-yard line.
That'll be good for Bobcats.
Nice quick pass there by Travis Clear. So now it looks like a concerted effort by the Bobcats to get Jackson involved. Pretty smart game plan, if you ask me. Clear's pass is caught, pulled in by the fullback in motion. That's Isaac Sessi. Sessi with a nice one-hand grab.
Isaac Sessi is complete.
Sessi, a junior.
Push out of bounds by number 20, Antonio Perry.
Might have an injury on the Beaver sideline. That's the reason for the stoppage of play. Might have been Sessi after the hit. Hopefully just a cramp, or maybe got the wind knocked out of him on the tackle. Beaver has shown signs of moving the football in this Warrior defense, but they haven't been able to completely put a drive together and have been held off the scoreboard so far. It's 14-0 Warriors. Clear to throw it. Pass is caught, and a flag on the play. And a flag after the play. I think Jackson's going to get called for unsportsmanlike. He taunted the defender after the catch, and we're going to have some kind of pass interference, either offense or defense. But it was a great effort by Jackson to go up and get the football. But you can't talk directly into the face of your defender after making a good play. Good to see former Hopewell head coach Matt Weiss up here in the press box earlier. Matt now on the staff for Court Rouse.
Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Bobcats.
Both penalties are against Beaver. Offensive pass interference and a personal penalty foul. So that's going to take them back 15. Two officials down at the 30-yard line, or no, one official getting some attention, appears to be okay. So that's a big change of momentum for Beaver. They could have had a 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now they're going to be all the way back. See where they mark it. They'll take it back to the 36-yard line. And they'll have to get.
That's going to back them up 30 yards. 2nd and long.
Now they move it back to the 20, so that might have been after the play, that unsportsmanlike foul, so they have two 15-yard penalties assessed to the Bobcats. Clear with a deep pass to Jackson, Incomplete. Good coverage by the Warriors.
Pass to Jackson falls incomplete.
Nastic was back there.
Bring up a third down.
Had some help with Aaron Lawson. .149 to go. Still 14-0. Central Valley with the lead. Third down and about a half a mile. 35 yards to be precise. Well, Clear has a live arm, so if you throw it deep and throw an interception, it's just like a punt anyway. So you either run a draw here, try to catch some yardage, pick up some yardage, or just throw it deep again. And we got some motion up front.
Delay of game. On the Bobcat.
Delay of game Bobcats, so things are discombobulating for the Cats. It's a critical juncture of the football game. You can't go down 3 scores to CV if you're Beaver. You got to hang around a little bit, especially on the road in conference play. Clear out of the gun. Clear rolls left. Pass picked off by the Warriors. It's an inbound. No, he's not. Great read on the play, but Antonio Perry couldn't get his feet down on the INT, but nonetheless, it'll be another Beaver punt. Their second of the night. Great effort by Perry. Nice break on the ball. Sean's giving me a replay here. Yeah, it was close. Jackson, the punt from his own end zone. High. Fair catch by Ahmed, but he doesn't even catch it. He just lets it roll at midfield, and it drops down to the Beaver 48. Good field position for the Warriors. So CV takes over at the Beaver 48. Short field for the Warriors, already leading at 14-0. Boy, one score here. By the end of the quarter, to be up 21 would be truly a feather in the cap of the CV Warriors. But Beaver's proud. They'll play tough defense. They're not going to give it up easily. Warriors want it. They'll have to take it. Rutherford under center, the senior quarterback. He'll give it to Henry. Henry making a couple moves to pick up about 8 yards on the first down carry. Brought down by the Bobcats. Philip Marino. Second down and a long 3 to go.
Good for a gain of 6. Second and 4. On the 42-yard line.
Rutherford on the keeper's going nowhere. Beaver was not full, leading the charge defensively. Colton Robinson. Colton Robinson, 6'3", 265 junior. That's a large young man. Third down, 5 to go. You almost feel like Central Valley's in 4-down territory here with the way Coach Lyons calls an offensive game. It'll be Henry on a pitch. Henry plows ahead. Looks like he has the first down. And I think he does, based on the marker of the far official. They'll measure it. Well, no, they say first down, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. So the Warriors, after one, 14-0. It was a 30-yard fumble recovery by Tyler Ondrusik. The sack and fumble caused by Ethan Shearer with 9:52 to go in the first quarter. Dominic Pratt's extra point was good. It was 7-0 Central Valley. Then after a Beaver punt, starting at their own 33-yard line, a methodical drive by the Warriors. culminates with a 13-yard touchdown run by Jance Henry. The extra point again by Pratt is good, and that's where we're at the end of the quarter, 14-0 Central Valley. And the Warriors on the move, and now it would appear that the Warriors are just shy of the first down as the fourth down marker is up on the field. So it's going to be fourth and about a half a yard to go.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Mark Lyons says, what are you talking about? I thought we had the first down. I did too, Coach.
we'd like to thank Central Valley for their community partnership to bring the fans delicious chicken as you enjoy tonight's game. We'd like to direct everyone to the home stadium seats where the Chick-fil-A cow is seated. The entire row will be receiving free sandwich cards courtesy of Matt Roach, the owner/operator of the Chick-fil-A Beaver Valley Mall. Congratulations.
So after the timeout, due to the quarter break, Mark Lyons obviously is going to go for it on fourth and less than a half a yard. I really thought by the way the VAR official was marking the football that Central Valley had the sticks. But not to be. We'll see if they can get it here to continue this drive. Nice crowd here tonight, always packed on the home stands, and Beavers brought a lot. Nice show on the road by the Bobcats. Now they're going to measure for the first down. And they're short by the length of the football, or a half of the length of the football maybe. Okay, fair enough. Good that they went out with the measurement to verify that it was shy. As a head coach, you have that right to request that when it's that close. And now we got to switch everything down to the other side of the field. Since they did the measurement, reset the sticks and get ready. There's been a long delay between the quarters. Warm night, allow everyone to get a little drink. Yeah, it's so close to the first down. This has quarter sneak written all over it. Just Rutherford take the hand off and dive forward. He gets a little crease at the first down. But then again, when you got a guy like Jance Henry in your backfield, you can choose anything. They got a lot of weapons. Delay for setting up the sticks again. All right, here we go. Fourth and less than the length of the football to go. And it'll be a Rutherford sneak for the first down and a lot more. No doubt about it. Good safe call. Nice offensive line surge, led by Michael Bendekovic up front. First and 10 Central Valley down to the Beaver 33-yard line. Henry with the carry. He's got about 4. Tackle up the gut there by Alexander Kraczynski. Second down, 6 to go. Maybe 7.
Second and 7. Ball on the 30-yard line.
Henry again putting moves on the defender down to the 24-yard line. I think he's a little bit shy of the first down. It'll bring up 3rd and short. I don't know, I might have spoke too soon, depending on the mark.
Good for a gain of 6. 3rd and 1.
3rd down, 1 to go for the Warriors. Trying to add on to their 14-0 lead. Rutherford on a keeper, got the first down. Good safe play calling. This is a methodical drive by the Warriors.
Rutherford up the middle for
Sticking to the ground. We haven't seen the ball in the air that much at all tonight by Steve Rutherford.
And that's going to be good for Central Valley Warriors.
But if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They're running the ball well against this Beaver defense. Mason Dixon with the ball. He's got a couple. We had a nice game last week. Great kid from a great family. He's going to do good things at the next level.
Hand off to number 5, Mason Dixon.
His dad, Tyrone, an assistant here under Mark Lyons. 2nd down, 8 to go for the Warriors, down to the Beaver 20-yard line. Cole Hilt lined up wide to the left. BJ Nastic to the right. Sidecar is Dixon. High snap. Rutherford's going to have to fall on it. And he's buried at the 48-yard line. Little extracurricular activity, no call. Well, just a high snap, and that is just a drive killer. All the way back to the 49-yard line, and they've got to get to the 12.
Sideline warning on the Bobcats.
Beaver with the sideline warning. Each team with one now. Third and 39. Pass down the field, has a man, it's caught for the first down. Can you believe it? What a catch and pass. Cole Hiltz on a reception. Steve Rutherford just dropped that right in his arms. What a pass, what a catch, what a first down. Unbelievable effort. And the guys, Sean and Ethan showed me the replay. I tell you, you don't see many throws or catches like that. Beautifully placed. I might have caught that. That was right there. I doubt it. I wouldn't have the speed to get down there. 1st and goal at the 9, up the gut. Short yardage.
Rutherford picks up the snap. Goes forward for good. A couple yards.
Second and goal at about the 6.
Number 2, Amari Jackson. 2nd and goal.
Amari Jackson makes the tackle for Beaver. Rutherford rolls out. Rutherford can run it in, and he does. Touchdown, Warriors. And Rutherford's hit into the end zone after he already scored. Rutherford rolled out, had a man open in the flat, but there was a lot better chance of him running into the end zone for the touchdown than throwing the ball. Good decision by the senior leader. That's what you get out of a Steve Rutherford. High snap. Hiltz does a nice job on the hold, and the extra point is good.
That's going to take your score to the Central Valley Warriors, 21. The Beaver Bobcats, 0.
Well, the big play, Rutherford gets a touchdown, but the big play was the throw from the 49 down to the 9. So 40-yard completion for the first and goal to set up a touchdown.
Central Valley School District welcomes recruitment teams from Fly Transportation Group and ABC Transit. Both bus companies are hiring bus drivers, van drivers, and attendants.
21-0 Warriors with the lead.
For information, visit them tonight at the bottom of the ramp.
7:28 to go in the half.
Thank you.
That was huge. You think back, that could be the play of their season if they go on and win this conference. But they got to win this game first, but they got it well in hand right now the way they're playing. Beaver has shown signs of moving the football, but have shot themselves in the foot with penalties and one turnover that led to a touchdown, the first touchdown of the football game. Pratt will kick it off. A little squib kick. That shows the respect for this return unit of Beaver, and another good return. This time it's Micah Poopy. Poopy, the up back, with a heads-up return.
Number 20, Antonio Perry.
He takes it out to the 45-yard line.
Ball on the 45-yard line.
This will be Beaver's best starting field position in a football game. Now Poopy stays in it wide out. Here's a guy for the old name team at wide receiver now for Beaver, Sincere Sly. That's a pretty cool name. Low snap to clear. He pitches it back. Gray Hall is hit for a loss. Great defensive play by Nastic setting it up. And then Ahmed got over there along with Mason Dixon.
Met in the backfield by number 23, B.J. Nastic.
Adam Schroed's got over there as well. That's great lateral pursuit defensively by the Warriors. 6:52 to go in the half, 21-0 Central Valley. Amari Jackson out of the pistol formation, and he's going to get the first down. So I think they caught the Warriors by surprise there by putting Jackson in the shotgun or pistol, wildcat, whatever Beaver uses as their terminology, I don't know, but that's what the play was, putting the talented, athletic Amari Cooper in at quarterback. And it looks like he's going to get another play or two there. Not a bad call. Put the ball in the hands of your playmaker. Pitch back to Quaylen Kane. Kane with a big gainer. Kane is going to go into the end zone. Yes, he kept it in bounds. 45-yard reception by Quaylen Kane.
Complete and take it in for a Bobcats. Touchdown.
So, Kane on the pitch backwards is a backwards lateral pass by Jackson. Well, no, it actually is forward now that I look at the replay. Now that might be a game saver there for the Bobcats. Extra point is up and good by Ty Koski. That'll make it 21-7.
That'll bring your score to the Central Valley Warriors. 21. The Beaver Bobcats. 7.
So the Bobcats, you knew they weren't going to go away, folks. Kind of felt like Central Valley had the game in control, but just goes to show you what one play can do. They were not down after that Central Valley touchdown on the big pass play to set it up. They come back and get one themselves by putting Amari Jackson in at quarterback. So great play calling there by Court Rouse. Now we'll see how the Warriors can answer. 2 timeouts left, I believe, in this half for them.
Number 20, Antonio Perry. Number 9, Aaron Lawson. Back to receive the kick.
Ty Koski's only a freshman, place kicker for Beaver. Nice deep kick down to the 9-yard line. It'll be Antonio Perry trying to get to the outside. And actually that was Lawson, my mistake on the other side. Aaron Lawson on the return. Lawson's a junior with a great return there.
1st and 10 for the Warriors.
So Central Valley will have a 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line, trying to answer that Bobcat touchdown to make it a 21-7 Warrior game. Trips to the right for the Warriors. It'll be a handoff inside. No, it'll be a keeper by Rutherford. He fooled everyone, including me, which isn't hard to do. And now we got a flag downfield. That might be a hold on the wide out. And Rutherford went down awkwardly. Hopefully he's okay.
Rutherford on the keeper. Flag on the play.
Rutherford's leg kind of got twisted up there on the tackle.
On the Warriors.
But a holding downfield is going to, well, they still should have the 1st down. They'll bring them back 10. Now the biggest question is, how is Steve Rutherford? Mark Lyons goes over to take a look. Yeah, it definitely looked like a lower leg injury. Will Shearer and his whole staff's out there. Take a look at Stevie. Yeah, he's up now under his own power. Boy, that was a nice play fake by Rutherford. Braddock Ambrose, the sophomore signal caller, will go onto the field for the Warriors. Of course, he threw for 224 yards and 5 touchdowns last week on a 13 out of 15 night against McGuffey. Rutherford's still shaken up. It looks like he's going to be out for a little while. He's definitely gingerly walking off the field. And nothing but prayers and best wishes for Steve on a senior night. You're a senior quarterback. You work so hard to play your senior season, and already missed last week because of an injury. Now banged up on this one. And they'll hand it off, and it'll be Henry. Henry with the 1st down, and gets it down to about the 36-yard line. So nice drive there, nice run by Henry. Pretty obvious call to make when you put a fresh quarterback in there. Give it to your sophomore tailback who can do it all. Of course, they won't be afraid to throw the football with Braddock Ambrose. He proved he can toss it last week, albeit not the type of competition he's facing tonight in the Beaver Bobcats. Hand off to Henry, and Beaver defensively stuffs him at the line of scrimmage. Dre Hall in there.
Henry on the carry.
Also, Mason Hogue.
Good for a gain of 1. 2nd and 9.
2nd down, 9 to go for the Warriors down at the Beaver 35. 21-7 Central Valley with 4:50 to go in this 1st half. Tom Hayes with you tonight. Mike Sullivan, my partner, away for a family wedding. So congratulations to the bride and groom. Pass downfield, some contact, and now there's the flag. Nastic, or Makai Ahmed, I should say, was grabbed at the 20-yard line, and the late flag is going to be pass interference. Well, the darker it gets here at Sarge Albert Stadium, the more beautiful this light-up CV sign in the end zone looks if you're here live, but you could see it. But unfortunately, our cameras don't angle that far over. And that's going to take it all the way down to the 20-yard line. 1st and 10 Warriors. Handoff, gain of a couple. Henry. And it looks like it's Rutherford's right ankle that they're retaping on the sidelines.
Good for a gain of 3. 2nd and 7.
This would be a nice answer to Beaver's touchdown for the Warriors if they can get it in here. Second down, 7 to go. Dominic Pratt warming up on the sideline into the net. Braddock Ambrose keeps it. Ambrose to the outside, and he's inside the 5, 1st and goal Warriors. Nice little run there by the sophomore quarterback. His grandfather Dave's been on the school board here at Central Valley for years. And his uncle Brandon was a heck of a quarterback for the Center High School Trojans back in the day. So he's got some bloodlines.
Ball on the 6-yard line.
1st and goal at the 6 for the Warriors. Ambrose under center. He'll pitch it back to Dixon. Mason Dixon, touchdown! Mason Dixon takes it to the house. 6-yard run for Mason. A great answer by the Warriors on that drive. After Beaver showed some life with their touchdown, the Warriors come right back after the injury to Rutherford and put Braddock Ambrose in at quarterback, and he finishes his drive with a 6-yard score by Mason Dixon. And the extra point now is, what do we have? I think we had a timeout before the kick. Oh, we are an equipment problem. The player looked like Lucas Jerabak had to come out. And Mark Lyons wants to know what's up. So we'll get the kick now. And it hits the upright, no good. So it will stay at 27-7.
That's going to bring your score. The Central Valley Warriors, 27. The Beaver Bobcats, 7.
Now those extra points could be critical. 3:32 left in the half, 27-7 Warriors. But when you miss that extra point, there's always that little bitter taste in your mouth after a score. Great senior night presentation before the game tonight for the band members and the football team. I don't think they did the cheerleaders. Maybe they're doing them at halftime. I'm not sure. Kane back deep, and he's been a good returner for the Bobcats along with Jackson back area. They've been kicking it away from Jackson. I think that's why Kane has had so many chances. Brad will kick it off.
Receive Jackson and Kane.
Short kick, squib kick. Good return, breaking tackles. It seems like everyone that can return the ball for Beaver on a kickoff. Philip Marino with the return.
Pushed out of bounds by number 2, Chance Henry. First and 10 for the Bobcats.
Well, we'll see what Beaver can do. Working with 3:28 and a half, trailing at 27-7.
Ball placed on the 43-yard line.
A water timeout. I didn't see anyone call for a timeout. Still a warm night. They might have just decided to give both teams a little water break here, which is certainly understandable. Still Jackson at quarterback. Pass is backwards, but he catches it, does Kane. That would have been a lateral had Kane not caught that. That could have been a big mistake. Jackson has given this offense a little bit of a spark. Don't think it was an injury to Clear. I just think it was the coaching decision to make a change to Jackson. And Omari Jackson takes off with it. And he's got the first down and a whole lot more. This kid is elusive. Been saying it all night. He's still breaking tackles to get it, take it to the end zone for the touchdown. Oh my, Omari Jackson. What a great effort by Jackson. He is electric. 56-yard run. And that extra point is good. So that tightens things up considerably. 27-14.
27, the Beaver Bobcats, 14.
Boy, since they've inserted Omari Jackson in the quarterback, this Beaver offense has been tough to stop, and Jackson has shown that he can throw the football as well as run it. I knew he could run it, but he showed he has a live arm as well when he has to throw it downfield. Somehow Central Valley's defense is going to have to find a way to put pressure on Jackson. Hit him at the line of scrimmage. Got to wrap him up too when you have the chance. Antonio Perry and Aaron Lawson back deep. Lawson dropped it but picked it up. And good pickup, good yardage. He's going to get out to the 36-yard line, finally brought down. His knee was down, but he hadn't touched the football yet.
Lawson on the return. First and 10, the Warriors. Ball on the 36-yard line.
Warriors take over at their own 36. They have 2:38 to work with in this first half. It's 27-14 Warriors. Central Valley had scored the first game on a defensive turnover. Fumble recovery by Tyler Ondrusik. But then it's been all offense for both squads after that. Henry got a couple. Good defensive stop there by the Bobcats. Brennan Kostiak, along with Colton Robinson. Second down and about 8 to go, maybe 7.
2nd and 7.
Should have two well-performing bands at halftime to show you on our YouTube channel while we take our halftime break. Up the middle, and that's Mason Dixon. Dixon all the way down to the 39-yard line of the Bobcats. Boy, I tell you, you key on Henry, and all of a sudden they put 5 in there. That number 5 and 2 look similar with those navy blue jerseys and the light blue numbers. But that definitely was Mason Dixon, who can sure give Jance Henry a break at any time. First and 10 CV. Rutherford's back in there, quarterback, and Steven runs out about a yard shy of first down. Sorry, I just noticed that. So good to see Rutherford able to go out there, although the offense was in the very capable hands of Braddock Ambrose while he was out, getting that right ankle retaped. Will Scherer and Liz Walker, two of the finest as far as physical therapy and trainers go. Take care of these student athletes quite well here at Central Valley High School. Minute 25 to go. Warriors are going to have to pick up the step a little bit.
Hand off to Dixon. Number 47, Brennan Kostiak.
Clock still running.
That'll bring up 3rd and 2.
Third down, 2 to go. Well, you got to pick up the first down and get a timeout here. I think they have at least one left. And Dixon with it. Dixon has the first down. And timeout. Mark Lyon says, hold everything, folks.
Hand off to number 5, Mason Dixon. And that's going to
Mason
be good.
Dixon, he's a tough runner. 6 foot, 200-pounder. He is a load to bring down. Strong athlete. Definitely be playing at a higher level next year somewhere for somebody. Someone's going to get a hard worker. .44 seconds to go in the half. According to my calculations, I think Central Valley has one timeout left, if I'm reading the score clock right. Yep, on the board it says 1 for Central Valley, 2 for Beaver. Of course, Beaver doesn't want to use any of them now. They want to keep CV off the board, although with that timeout in your pocket, you're getting close enough for Dominic Pratt range. You might be able to attempt a field goal if you can't get it into the end zone. Probably need to pick up 10 more yards to be safe. Flag on the play, procedure on the Warriors. They whistle it dead. Yeah, some of the coaches saying it should say 45 seconds on the scoreboard clock, or 44. Yeah, because they did blow the play dead, so it would stay at 44, which it was before the penalty. Now you definitely need to pick up some yardage to think about a field goal. Rutherford down to the left corner. No good. Intended for, I believe, Hiltz.
Rutherford's pass to Nastic falls incomplete. Second down.
Good coverage there by Amari Jackson. That was Nastic on the attempted catch. Second down, 15 to go for the Warriors. They're going to run it, and Mason Dixon picks up good yardage, but when you run the ball, you might have to take that time out, and I think you do.
Timeout. Warriors.
Well, you could do an out pattern, get out of bounds and set up a field goal if you can't get it into the end zone. Really difficult to run the ball here because you're just going to run out of time. You got to throw it and throw an quick incompletion if nothing's open. Got to be very careful with that clock. Again, Central Valley will receive the second half kickoff because they did defer at the beginning of this football game. Okay, it'll be Hiltz wide left this time. Rutherford's going to run it. Rutherford has an opening, and he's going to go into the end zone, but hold everything. There's a flag. This is going to come back. I think there was a hold on the left side. Downfield for the Warriors. It's going to negate a Rutherford touchdown. Really, unfortunately, the receiver didn't need to block because Rutherford at that point was in the clear. But you can't really tell that when you're trying to do your job.
Holding on the Warriors.
His back's to Rutherford, so he really doesn't know where Steve's at.
Play third down. 3rd and 5.
So, tough call. We were out on an island one-on-one like that, especially receiver on DB. It really stands out if you have an infraction. So 3rd down and 5. You have a chance to throw it here. And it's thrown incomplete.
Rutherford's pass falls incomplete.
4th down, now you have to try to field goal since it's 4th down. Be about a 40-yarder. Not quite. Be a 37-yarder. Definitely has the leg, does Dominic Pratt. But it comes down to a good snap and hold as well. Kick is up, and that kick is good! 37 yards. That is a huge field goal by Dominic Pratt.
Pratt's 37-yard field goal is up and good. That's going to bring the score to the Central Valley Warriors 30, the Beaver Bobcats 14.
That makes up for the missed extra point and more. 30-14 Warriors now with just 18 seconds to go in the half. And remember, CV gets the football to start the second half. So what a switch in momentum right there by that field goal going through the pipes. Now I would think they'll just squib this kickoff as to not have a return. Central Valley started the scoring defensively on a 30-yard fumble recovery by Tyler Andrusik. Fumble caused by Ethan Shear. The extra point by Pratt was good. That gave CV a 7-0 lead. Then after a Beaver punt, it was a 13-yard run by Jance Henry. The extra point was good, 14-0 Central Valley with 3:06 to go in the first quarter. And then Steve Rutherford took it in from 6 yards out as we do get that squib kick. And it'll be a run up the middle. Now he gets to the outside. Again, a good return by the Bobcats, and this time it's Philip Marino. So 6-yard touchdown run by Steve Rutherford. That was set up, though, by the Rutherford to Cole Hiltz 40-yard reception on 3rd and 39. And they pick up 40 yards for the first and goal. Beaver comes back with a 45-yard reception by Quaylen Kane, thrown by Amari Jackson, who went in at quarterback. And then Central Valley comes back with a 6-yard run by Mason Dixon. That kick was no good, so that made it 27-7 Central Valley. And Amari Jackson with a beautiful 56-yard touchdown run for Beaver. Their extra point was good, and it was 27-14. And then we had the 37-yard field goal by Dominic Pratt as Beaver Jackson just runs out the clock here at the end of the half. At the half, our score, Central Valley 30, Beaver 14. Stay tuned for both bands performing here at halftime.
The Beaver Bobcats, 14. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight the Central Valley Quarterback Club will be donating their portion of the 50-50 to the family of Holden Ekman. Holden is the son of Sydney and Brad Ekman of Freedom. Sydney is a 4th grade teacher at Todd Lane Elementary in our Central Valley School District. Holden, who is 20 months old, was recently diagnosed with leukemia and is currently undergoing treatment at Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. Holden will need a bone marrow transplant soon. If you are interested in being tested to see if you are a match, the NMDP will be testing tomorrow at the Central Valley Little Warriors games at Jean St. Clair Field, beginning at 2 p.m. We have also placed donation bottles at the Quarterback Club's concession stand for those of you who would like to donate. Everything collected tonight will go directly to the Ekman family to help defray the medical costs, lost wages, etc. Holden's grandfather John is here tonight representing Holden, Sydney, and Brad. The Central Valley community always pulls together for their family. No one fights alone. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the 2024 Beaver Area High School Marching Band. The band is under the leadership of Senior Drum Major Josh Dava. No matter what genre of music you enjoy, our punk rock show has something sweet for everybody, featuring songs from across genres and decades. We opened with the 2003 pop hit that was named Song of the Century by a 2018 Rolling Stone publication. It features color guard soloist Milana Harn Ramirez. Enjoy our explosive performance of Beyonce's debut single, Crazy in Love. Drum Major, is your band ready? U.S. in 1988. Our next song is over 1 billion streams, went #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It features Color Guard member Madeline Silva in a rifle solo. This is Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses. This next selection features Color Guard soloist Vivian Gedman. It was released in 2019. It was the first song to hold a spot in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 for an entire year. It's also the first and only song to have over 4 billion streams on Spotify. Please enjoy the 7-time platinum hit, Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. Our show closes with a rock hit from the 80s. This song was originally recorded by a British rock band called the Arrows, but it was popularized by Joan Jett and the Blackhearts. Their version topped the Billboard Hot 100 chart for 7 weeks. Here is I Love Rock and Roll. Beaver Area Marching Band. The band is under the direction of Mr. J.P. Skingle. Staff members include Mr. Stephen Maker, Mr. Louis Didio, Mr. Phil Seifert, Mrs. Jessie Debeck Sargent, and Mrs. Caitlin Peabody Young. Thank you, and let's go, Cats! Ladies and gentlemen, we have the touchdown club winner. It's Greg and Tracy Patton. You can have them. Ladies and gentlemen, to direct your attention to the CD monument to the right of the school. A few years ago, senior Mikey McDevitt, 1995 summer high school year, and his picture of his father is displayed standing in the youth. Requests to local businesses, alumni, and friends for donations. He raised enough money to make his idea a reality. Throughout the summer, Mikey, his parents, and multiple friends donated their time to form what you now see today. His vision is finally completed and ready to shine for all to enjoy. Congratulations, Mikey, on a job well done. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have the winning ticket for the 50-50 raffle. The numbers are 2, 9, 0, 5, 4, 5. Again, the winning numbers are 2, 9, 0, 5, 4, 5. If you have the winning ticket, please take it to the concession stand. Ladies and gentlemen, we have some scores around Beaver County. Currently, Ambridge is winning 7-6 against Greensburg Salem. Laurel versus Rochester. Laurel is ahead 16-12. Quaker Valley versus Valley. Quaker Valley is ahead 21-6. Riverside, New Brighton. Riverside 7, New Brighton 6. Southside versus Shenango. Shenango 21, Southside 20. Western Beaver versus Union. Western Beaver 21, Union 6. Elwood City versus Freedom. Elwood City 27, Freedom 3. Moon versus Seneca Valley. Moon 21, Seneca Valley 0. Avonworth versus Hopewell. 35 Avonworth. Hopewell 7. Penn Hills versus Aliquippa. Penn Hills 7. Aliquippa 0.
Yeah, what a nice halftime performance by both the Beaver and Central Valley marching bands, two fine units that entertained the crowd here tonight. Nice crowd, and with me with the second half, the guy behind the buttons, pushing all the buttons, Sean Render. Sean, let's spend some time behind the mic since Mike Sullivan's off this week. Sean, really, what you guys do technology. I remember when Sam Stracone invited me to join the broadcast team a few years ago. I said, well, only thing, Sam, is I'm as dumb as they come when it comes to technology. He said, don't worry about it. I got guys that take care of that. I said, well, if you just want someone to call and come to call the game and go home, I can do that. So, Sean, thanks for what you and Ethan do, and Eddie Miller, and the support that we always get from our superintendent, Nick Perry, and the school board. Athletics is important, and they do it right here.
Well, Tom, I'm glad to have the opportunity to sit next to you and be on the call here for the second half. I know I'm usually the one behind the scenes here, making sure you get to see the replays, and we try to make sure the stream quality is good because we want to make sure everyone can hear your voice, because obviously the voice of Beaver County we have on here. We love hearing you get excited. Makes us really happy that everything's working smoothly, and we're glad to have you around.
Well, thanks, Sean. It's fun for an old man to have something to do on a Friday night. Now, the guy with us in the middle, Sam Stracone, the athletic director, not just the athletic director. I'd be remiss if I didn't say you got to handle transportation as well. But anyway, Sam, onside kick by Beaver, recovered by the Warriors at midfield. So Central Valley's going to have good field position. Sam, I know tonight is one of those nights where you just can't show up, do a few things, and enjoy the football game. You have a live stream by Trib Live. You have the Post Gazette here. You have the Times here. You have the Beaver County Radio here. How long of a busy day is this for you to get set up for a game like this, my friend?
Well, it starts at the beginning of the week, Tom.
Yeah.
The more I get done earlier in the week, the easier it is come Thursday and Friday. And I get great support.
Henry on the carry. Multiple flags on the play.
With the
Holding
school board and
on the Warriors.
Superintendent Dr. Perry.
That'll be a 10-yard penalty. Replay. First down.
Everybody's out to help each other out. We have a great team, and it's gratifying, when you get that help, because it does get tough, and but we plug away. That's what we do.
Michael Bendekovic had an interesting senior project. He came up with an idea to have a lighted CV sign in the end zone near the scoreboard. They debuted that tonight, Sam. That's got to make you feel good. You see a kid in high school who's thinking about his school, what he can do to improve the environment here where he's been a star performer for several years. What do you make of the sign? And tonight, I'm assuming it's the first night that was lit up, right?
Yes, tonight was the first night. It wasn't done for the first home game, but they were here all week. His dad helped him out tremendously. But great family, Mike Bendekovic, dad and the kid. It is awesome. I mean, people that are out there, you need to come see it. It lights up. It has different colors. It's pretty cool.
Central Valley had a holding penalty on first down, so they're now faced with a second down, 9 to go, leading at 30-14. This drive is so critical, I think, for both squads in this football game, and that's Mason Dixon up the gut for about 5. Sam, everyone was getting a little, I don't want to use the word crazy, but a little concerned, let's say, with Central Valley starting 0-3. But my Lord, you look at the schedule. I don't know what did you guys do to make the WPIL mad, Sam? Did you upset someone to have them come up with such a tough schedule? The non-conference schedule is amazing.
Yeah,
amazingly difficult.
Amazingly difficult is right. The football steering committee.
Big run by Mason. Mason with the first down inside the 20-yard line. Not to interrupt you, Sam, but I will anyways.
That's right.
Big first down for Mason Dixon.
They have a daunting task. When you're crossing over games, you got a lot, and really it's kind of unfair at times because they're going past history. And our history here in football has been extremely well. So they're going to give you tougher opponents. They try to give matchups. The only thing I wish they'd do a little bit better would be the proximity of these games. You know,
yeah,
so.
you traveling back to Bell Vernon and McGuffey. That's a tough task, even for an established transportation manager like yourself. It's a huge challenge, buddy.
It is, and it does become difficult. You know, I think, and I joked about this when we went to Bell Vernon. I said we passed 85 schools in the WPIL just to get there.
Played one of them. Jarius Baker shaking up on a play. Sam, early on in the broadcast, I touched about the importance of 2010, the way this football team, I thought, molded the communities, the high schools between Monaca and Central Valley. Center High School and Monaca, I should say, and Center and Monaca both had their own bright history, and of course you were a part of the Monaca glorious past. And it was fun to see you last night at the junior high game where you still play the junior high games at Old Monaca Stadium. And yeah, it was a tough one, I know. A tough one. Your son Sammy on the squad took a tough loss to Beaver Falls, but a good effort by the kids. But again, it goes back to 2010. This football program had a lot to do with merging these two high schools. And guys like you on the administrative end that had a lot to do with it deserve a ton of credit. And, you know, as a former Monaca guy who ended up graduating from Center, I like to say I'm the ultimate warrior. I grew up in Monaca but graduated from Center, so I had the best of both worlds. So, Sam, publicly, thanks for all you do. Thanks for all of your support and the great job you do for the community here at Central Valley. And we appreciate you spending a few minutes with us, my friend.
Absolutely, Tom. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say thank you. I mean, you've been tremendous from day one when I called you and asked you to do this broadcast. And, you know, you had a couple questions. We answered them pretty quick, and we baited you in. And, you know, we can't be any happier, Tom. And I mean this sincerely. You're a great friend. You're a great person. And this job's yours forever, buddy.
I wish I could last that long.
At least until I retire anyway, you know. But we do appreciate you, Tom, week in and week out. And I know you do a tremendous job. And I know Dr. Perry, he appreciates your efforts as well.
Well, I appreciate those words, Sam. And it's been since I retired from the radio. Stevie Rutherford up the gut almost gets the first and goal. It's been something to keep an old man busy, and I've been at the games anyways, supporting the kids. So I appreciate it. I'm glad to be a small part of the family, buddy.
We thank you, and you know I got to give a shout out to my boy Mike Sullivan too. I'm hoping he's in Boston right now.
Yeah.
But, if he's listening to the live stream, Mike, we miss you. Get back. You're not allowed to miss another game, buddy.
Yeah, there you go.
We surely do. I know people would much rather hear him on the call than me today.
Thanks, Sam. Up the gut, short yardage, second and goal now for the Warriors, thanks to Athletic Director, Transportation Director Sam Sircone.
It's interesting, Tom, that Rutherford seems to still be confident on his feet after going down in the first half. That he came right out, went right back into it, making sure he's handed the ball off well.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to have. That's a good point. He doesn't have any ill effects of the ankle injury. He got his ankle retaped, the right ankle was retaped. So second and goal at the 5 for the Warriors. And they give it up the middle. I think Dixon that time it is. And Mason gets inside the 5 to the 3.
Good for a gain of 1. Third and goal.
Switching headsets to see if Sean can hear me now. Third and goal at the 3. First drive of this second half. Beaver tried an onside kick, but Central Valley was Johnny on the spot on the recovery. Henry with the football and the touchdown. Take a chance on Jance, and he takes it to the house.
And just building on what I already said about Stevie Rutherford there, Tom, is Jance comes out in the second half, continues what he was doing in the first half, and finishing what needed to be a first drive that resulted in points.
Yeah, that's a momentum killer if you're Beaver. You don't get the onside kick. You give up the good field position, and Henry takes it to the house. (36-14). The PAT is up and good. 37-14. And this score, I think, will surprise some folks throughout the WPIL. Not because Central Valley's winning, but really by the domination of the effort. This is a team that was 0-3 to start the season before they finally got a big win against McGuffey. Sam and I touched about the difficulty of the schedule early on, and you knew that Mark Lyons wasn't worried about the record. He was worried about getting his football team ready for AAA action, and guess what? Mission accomplished so far.
I know that for sure. Talking to Coach Lyons earlier in the week and last week, I asked him how he felt after the rocky start that they've had, and he gave me a wink and he said, we're going to be all right. It really just points to the confidence that he instills in his players and his coaches to make sure that they come out and they don't think about the last week or the week before. They think about the play that's in front of them.
Yeah, I felt that in my pregame chat with Coach as well. He seemed quiet. He had a cool, stilly calm about him, if you will. He's just like, I'm ready to take care of business. And I think he was looking forward to playing a local team. You know, these Beaver County rivalries are special. And unless you live in Beaver County and have grown up here, you really wouldn't understand it. That's a high kick. A little bit short at the 5 for Kane. And Kane's going to get to the 20 or so, maybe the 25, and he's still on his feet. Out to the 27-yard line. Nice return. But, you know, Sean, I talk about it. I do mean what I say about you and Ethan and Eddie, because I'm not a technological genius. I'm not a genius at anything, but especially during COVID, school districts have really had to rely on technology, and guys like you and Ethan are so valuable. And talk just briefly about what kind of transition that was, the year that COVID started all this online teaching and all the electronics of trying to educate our youth.
Well, I think the one thing that it really proved.
Jackson into the secondary, and there goes Amari Jackson all the way down inside the 20. Nastic's trying to bring him down, and he does it about the 4. And had to interrupt you, Sean, because of that Jackson. He's Action Jackson. What else can you call this kid? He's amazing.
I will say, Tom, the number one thing coming into this game that's surprising me a lot about Beaver is just the speed that they have all around on the offensive side of the ball. It is very interesting to see how they have these receivers and backs that are able to get down the field as fast as they are.
Well, I think moving Jackson to quarterback has been the smartest move of the season for Court Rouse. And they're going to go for, well, actually, they didn't get the touchdown yet. On 1st and goal at the 3. Nastic with this touchdown-saving play. And that's an illegal procedure. Now, that really muffles things up if you're Beaver. So instead of having a touchdown, Nastic brings them down to the 3-yard line. And now they have a 5-yard penalty. But we'll get back to your thoughts on the technology training of our students after this drive when we have a little bit more time, because I think it's really important. The world has changed. I'm not sure I could have been a parent of school age students back in this day and age. I'm glad I had my kids a long time ago. Jackson keeps it and gets inside the 5.
Jackson on the keeper.
Computers are great when they work well, but I always seem to have a problem keeping them working well. Well, 2nd and goal at the 4, so they picked up the penalty yardage. Well, -1, got 4 to the 5. But obviously 4 down territory for Beaver, trailing at 37-14. Jackson up the gut. And is he in? He's close, but I don't see a signal.
He has been marked. I think he's been marked short, just short.
There's some guys on the Beaver sideline saying, hey, he scored a touchdown. 3rd down and goal at the 1. Yeah, I can't see them taking the ball out of Jackson's hands.
And they do not.
And he's in that time for the 1-yard touchdown run.
Jackson is going to keep it and get in.
Tom, that was a huge drive for Beaver right there.
It was.
It keeps them. I feel like you had to get the ball there and you had to put points on the board just to make sure that you were staying in this game, especially with how CV opened the half. It was big to make sure that they're going to continue this game. It keeps the momentum up on their side of the field, too.
I'm trying to do the math on that run.
Seems we have a Central Valley player down there at the goal line.
That was that run by Jackson to set up the first and goal. Let me see. I'm gonna say 47. About a 60-yard jaunt. I failed to mark the line of scrimmage, but it was around 60 for Jackson. Well, we had the injury. Getting back to the technology stage of learning. I mean, when you went to college, I'm sure you didn't think that you'd be having these kind of lesson plans that help the teachers with.
Yeah, well, I definitely would say the big thing is at the very least the infrastructure for the technology was already there throughout the 2000 teens there, making sure that at least for Central Valley, and I know a lot of people won't like this, but for my school, Beaver, where I graduated from.
You let the cat out of the bag,
yeah,
no pun intended.
But as being one-to-one schools and every student having technology and every staff member having laptops and iPads as well, it allowed for a smoother transition into having that hardship during the COVID years. I think, though, they're a great tool. They're beneficial the most when they're just a tool and they're not the main source of medium for the education.
And Koski's extra point is good. That'll make it 37-21. So the Bobcats are hanging around. You like to see that if you're Court Rouse. Your team didn't quit after giving up the touchdown drive to Central Valley.
100%, and especially on the fact of making sure you got points on the board on your first possession in the first half on your first possession of the half after the first half, where it seemed like Beaver came out maybe a little bit sluggish compared to Central Valley, but it seems like now they have their offense together and they're getting yards down the field.
Good coaching, too, by Mark Lyons to have his team ready for the onside kick. They weren't caught off guard at all. Back to a 16-point lead for the Warriors. That's why that 37-yard field goal was so important by Dominic Pratt. That gives you 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions. You make Beaver accomplish just to tie the football game.
I know, especially with high school football, Tom, it is really a massive benefit to your team when you can have confidence in your kicker.
And both of these programs have always had good kickers, a lot of good soccer players from both schools that have participated. Deep kick, Perry with the return this time, and Antonio Perry gets out across the 30. He's hit hard there.
Perry on the return.
And that's the other thing, Tom. It seems like it's also been a night of really good returns on kicks.
It has been. Well, the kids have been aggressive. They're coming up on the ball. They're reading the openings well. Central Valley is obviously kicking it away from Amari Jackson, and why not? But Kane has picked up the slack, and also trying to think. Oh, Philip Marino's had a few returns. 1st and 10 Warriors at their own 31. Inside handoff. Henry making the opening there. Got a good block from Bedekovic. And Ethan Shearer, the tight end, on the right side.
Henry on the carry. Brought down by number 9, Alexander Kaczynski. Good for a gain of 2. 2nd and 8.
Second down, 8 to go, Warriors. Beaver trying to come up with a defensive answer. Rutherford's pass is incomplete. Well, he's close to, I thought he might have been considered for intentional grounding there, but no call. Quaylen Kane's going to come up lame. Looks like a cramp.
I know that has to be something these coaches are emphasizing, Tom, with how hot the weather's been over the course of September and even into August, and hydration. I know even watching pro games and college games, the amount of cramping you're seeing and everything like that.
It's been warm, too. This has been probably one of the driest, warmest Septembers I can remember in a while. I'll tell you, that's some of the worst pain in the world. You just think is never going to end. You get a cramp. I get them when I'm sitting in my recliner watching TV.
Oh, I do too, and that's why that's why I can definitely.
Not playing ball.
I can only imagine what they're going through down on the field there when you and I are sitting on the couch and we're getting them compared to what they're doing down there.
And looks like Kane will be able to come back in. So 3rd down and 8 after the incomplete pass by Rutherford.
We have a 3rd and 8.
Pass is caught by Conley. Nope, they say incomplete. It must have hit the turf. Quinn Conley went down low to pick it up, but it skimmed off the turf. And Ethan will prove to us if that was a catch or not with this instant replay. And I'm trying to think. This might be Central Valley's first punt.
I believe you're right, Tom.
Yeah, it did bounce off the turf. I'm checking. I don't see a punt in the first half for the Warriors. And got a good roll to the Antonio Perry. All the way down to the 35-yard line is where they'll mark it. Wow.
Perry's kick goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Bobcats.
He's got a very fortuitous bounce on that one.
We think about that being the first punt, but when you consider that 58 points have been scored in this game, it's not too shocking to...
Well, Central Valley's first punt. Beaver's
yeah.
punted several times, but yeah. Jackson with the pitch out to Hall, and Hall got just across the line of scrimmage. Central Valley spread it out nicely there defensively. Nastic with the main stop, and Ethan Shearer. I don't know who's more important in this game, Ethan or his dad, Will, who taped up Stevie Rutherford to get him back in the game.
That's for sure. Just going off of this CV defense, they've started. They've been going out in the field with not the best, most optimal field position to start with the ball, obviously, when you're on defense, but they've really been responding to it well.
Jackson keeps it himself, and he got maybe a yard or two. Actually, Liz Walker was the one who was taping Rutherford's ankle at the direction of Will.
Brought down again by number 50, Brendan Alexander.
Well, big 3rd down here. After Brendan Alexander comes up with the stop, the 6'4", 288-pound junior. Big 3rd and 6. Somehow you got to contain Jackson. I mean, I don't know if Mark believes in the spy defensively, but you almost have to assign a guy to him. He's that good. And he's going to throw it, and that's going to be overthrown. And a flag on the play. So we might have some kind of pass interference one way or the other.
Have Ethan here bring us the replay to see what
Tough
was going
call
on there.
Yep, they're going to say defensive pass interference, 15 yards in the first down.
Pass interference on the Warriors. It's going to be 15-yard penalty. The Bobcats, first down.
Wow, that's a tough call.
Yeah, I would go and agree with you there. It seems like they were both making contact with each other there at the beginning, and
it looked more like an offensive push-off.
Yeah.
Hall with about 8. Nice pickup there by Dre Hall. Hall's a senior, 5'10", 185-pounder. As Central Valley honored their seniors tonight. Hall again, moving the chains. Well, if you're Central Valley, you just, even if you give up points, you really want Beaver to eat up some of that clock. Psychologically, if you get into this third quarter up by 16, then you like your chances. But Beaver's going to fight the score as quickly as they can, obviously, down 16. Jackson keeps it. Jackson with a good yardage again.
And just building off what you were saying there, Tom, it seemed like the second quarter there was taking years for us to get through it, and because both teams getting the ball in the air. But now we're at a minute and 30 seconds left in the third because of all the ground movement.
Yeah, that's what happens when you run the ball. And you have long sustained drives. Kane back in there after going out with an injury. He's wrapped up by Alexander. Third and short. Be about 3rd and 2 to go for the Cats.
Third down. And 3.
Jackson keeps it, and Jackson's got the, well, going to be close. Going to be 10 on the spot. He went down and then kind of reached the ball forward as he stretched out his body. Looks like he's going to be short, though, 4th and short. This is where I hate a quarterback in a shotgun, but when you get an athlete like him, you can take that chance. But I still am not a big fan of shotgun on 3rd and 3rd or 4th and short like that. But you put your faith in your senior athlete, and he delivers.
And a lot of faith in your offensive line as well.
Another Warrior down on the turf.
Official timeout.
37-21, 10 seconds to go in this third quarter with Beaver on the move. And that's Alexander shaking up. Doesn't look like he's going to be out long. Rutherford really getting that arm loose on the Central Valley sideline. He must be saying, hey, Coach, I'm ready to wing it out here on senior night. Trying to get one final play off, and the Bobcats do. And now Jackson's still on his feet. This kid's tough to bring down. Listed at 6'1", 185, and that'll be the end of the third quarter.
Jackson on the keeper.
So psychologically, it's just a little psychological edge that you keep him out in the third quarter, because then it's like, oh, we have a fourth quarter comeback with 16 points to go. So it just kind of makes you feel a little differently, especially when you come up with a stop if you're CV. But they're 2nd down, 7 to go, and it'll be 4 down territory the rest of the way for Beaver unless they're way back on their own side of the field. Now, Sean, how long have you been with Central Valley School District?
So this is my, I think, going on 3rd year working with the school district.
Okay.
Yeah, I can definitely say I enjoy it. Every day I come into work, I get opportunities to do awesome things with awesome people like you, and it's a lot of fun. It's very extremely fulfilling. I know it's really cool going out here, and I get to see all these athletes put on this amazing show for us, and then see how hard they work in the classroom, and I get to be the one that fixes their iPads for them.
I'm sure you're very busy. I'm sending a couple of my grandkids up to high school next year, so I'm going to have to pay you to keep an eye on them. Second down, 7 to go for Beaver at the CV 20. Chance Henry on a 3-yard touchdown run for Central Valley in the second half, and a 1-yard run by Jackson after he took it 60 yards to get a first and goal. Pretty easy to pick a player of the game for the Bobcats tonight. Inside handoff, Hall. Hall is slowed down by Jerovac as he got a tug on the jersey, and then the defense collapsed after that.
And I know, Tom, for Ethan and I, it's a little bit of deja vu seeing number 2 quarterback for Beaver running all over the field, because in our days it was Darius Wise running all over the field.
What an athlete he was. I think Amari Jackson has a little D Wise in him. Third and 5 for the Bobcats. Lateral pass, and what a play defensively. Oh, my. Aaron Lawson with the hit of the season so far. Man, I felt that up here.
It seems, Tom, that CV's been getting ready for that throughout the night. Beaver has really been utilizing those passes to the flats throughout the game.
That was almost a lateral again.
Yeah.
4th and about 9 to go. I mean, that's just brutal. Shotgun Jackson. He's going to throw it down the field, and that pass is incomplete, a little high. CV had a couple of defenders there, and he'll take over on downs.
Jackson's pass is broken.
Yeah, that was a great read.
Antonio Perry. That'll be a turnover on down. 1st and 10.
Now we got a Bobcat down. Central Valley takes over at their own 22, the Warriors. And there's that big stop, Sean, I was talking about. Psychologically, you keep them off the board at the end of the 3rd quarter, then you start the 4th quarter with a stop, a defensive stop, and you've got to feel terrific about that.
100%, and it really came down to where we're at this point in the game, where Beaver needed to get points on that drive. If they were going to keep this game going and make sure it was going into the last 10 minutes of the 4th quarter, they needed that there. Keeps the momentum up.
Even 3 would have helped them. Then you get away from that 2-touchdown, 2-point conversion situation. And actually, Henry comes off a little shaken up on the play. He seems to be okay. He's not getting any attention. Sidecar will be Dixon. Jet sweep. On the end around, Lawson with it, and he's got a first down. He almost broke that one.
And you have to think that's what Mark Lyons is going to be telling his offense for the rest of this game, is making sure we're moving down the field and we're staying on the ground.
One other thing, protect the football. Ball security, job number 1 right now. 4th quarter lead of 16. Don't give them any life to get back into the game with a turnover. This Beaver team's not going to quit on them. Good hole for Dixon. Dixon breaking tackles. Dixon into the secondary. Mason is going to go. No one's going to catch him. He's going to the house. Touchdown! Mason Dixon goes coast to coast like butter on toast. What a run by the MD. And that will set off the fireworks. I'm going to have to get a look at a replay on that one. I want to check the yardage. Ethan helping us out. .35, okay, 65 yards. Mason Dixon, wow. Extra point, they go for 2. I think it was like a situation that looked like it was blocked. I don't know, maybe it was design play.
I think the holder had a little issue with the snap there, Tom.
And then they yell fire, and Adam Schroeds catches it for the 2-point conversion. So that worked out pretty good. So that makes it 45-21 Central Valley. Boy, how many times do you see it when your defense comes up with a big defensive stand and your offense comes back, takes that momentum into the end zone. That's how you win football games.
And not only that, but overcomes a little bit of an issue there on the PAT and converts it into points anyway.
Absolutely, 45-21. Now Court Rousel, we've seen it all night long. They come back. They're just not a quitting type team. I think they'll fight hard till the bitter end, no matter what the score is. With 10 minutes to go, that's the tradition that Pat Tarquinio set. What a legend, boy! I tell you, one of the finest, one of my best friends I ever had. I love Pat Tarquinio. Missed him dearly. I was so happy when they finally named a field in his honor at Gypsy Glen Stadium.
Yeah, that was just before our time in high school there at Beaver, where they did name the field after him. And I know Ethan can say this, and I can too. For the few limited times we did, we're able to have some discussions with him. I can agree with you. Extremely amazing, kind gentleman.
He was the best. When I got started in this business, he acted like I was doing it for 20 years. Into the end zone, that's an automatic touchback in high school football.
First and 10 for the Bobcats.
Guys like him, Joe Hamilton, the former Blackhawk coach. I could go on with the respect and admiration I have for our coaches in Beaver County, and guys like Mark Lyons now who are Hall of Famers. Sam Sircone was a great football coach and a baseball coach at Monac in his own right before he took over the Central Valley athletic director's job out here. Beaver County, that's one thing we've been blessed for. These kids have had a lot of great coaches throughout the years who put a lot of heart and soul into developing them, not only as football players, but as men. Big run up the middle by Kane. That's a big run. He's still on his feet all the way out to the 45-yard line. Finally brought down there by Perry.
And just like you were saying, Tom, it seems like Coach Rouse really has this Beaver team in a never give up, always keep fighting attitude.
Yeah, he's a great young coach. I mean, selfishly, I was pulling for Donnie Phillips back in the day to get the job. Donnie's a friend of mine and knew him from coaching here at Center High School. But when they decided to go with Court, I mean, I don't think they can look back. It's a good decision. There goes Jackson again. Jackson into the secondary, and he's going to score again. Oh, my. Amari Jackson. 55 yards. He is unreal.
Now, here we are, Tom. That two-point conversion might end up being a little bit interesting scenario here for going into the end of the game, having that.
Well, if they can get a stop, that's their biggest now thing is they got to get a 3-and-out defensively if you're Beaver. It's 45-27, PAT coming up.
Timeout.
Beaver has to burn a timeout. That's critical right there. To have to waste a timeout on an extra point when you're trying to come from behind. Ouch.
Ethan and I were discussing that right before the game, talking about having seen that in the past where coaches had to burn a timeout on a PAT, and you say you can't do that. Really,
Yeah,
at the end of the day, it's just something you can't do.
Well, the math, I'm looking at the math. Wouldn't you go for 2 here to make it a 16-point game?
That's what I was saying, because of CV being able to convert that 2-point there, it makes it a little interesting here.
I thought I saw their kicker
out
there. Well, we'll see. I don't know. I think you try to go for 2 to get it down to a, 2 touchdown and 2 extra point opportunity. Is my math right? 45-29 it would be. This would only make it 45-28. That's an 18-point spread.
Yeah.
Well, they are going for 2. Okay. I thought initially I saw the kicker out there, but
They were lined up to kick a PAT originally, and then they called that timeout there.
and Jackson comes onto the field. And he's going to run it himself. And now he's going to throw it for the 2-pointer. Good.
There you go.
Wide open, Alexander Krasinski. So good call there by Court Rouse. Been an entertaining game, I could say that much.
For sure. And I think that's one of the great opportunities we have that with Central Valley at 3A football again is this rivalry's back on right here.
Yeah, I love this. Yep. They travel to Avonworth next week, which was a little rivalry for a couple of years. They had some heated battles. Always tough to go down to Lenzner Field and get a win. So 45-29 with 9:23 to go. Still work to be done by the Warriors. I like how the Beaver faithful, the fans have hung in there too with their team.
Well, to be fair to them, it's not too long of a drive home.
No, but you know what? A lot of people bug out early anymore. That kick might go out of bounds if they let it go, but they pick it up. And great coverage there by Beaver on the special teams.
Now, Tom, you were discussing Coach Don Phillips there, and I just wanted to take a quick opportunity to mention a wide receiver he had in the early 80s there. My dad, Jim Rendar, Center Township wide receiver and defensive back.
Oh, okay, very good. CV at their own 22 now. Rutherford's going to roll out. Rutherford's keeping it. He's got a lot of room. Trying to split the seam at midfield. He's brought down.
Rutherford on the keeper. Good for a big gain.
Alex Mastoris might have saved the touchdown. What a nice run. Boy, that ankle didn't look bad there, did it?
Not at all. And going off what I said earlier, he came out in the second half, and he had 100% confidence going right out of it to keep his feet moving on the ground.
That's a backbreaker there. You can't give up those kind of big plays if you're Beaver trying to come from behind. Just to play like that can be demoralizing. And then you have Mason Dixon with a couple, about 3 or 4. What a solid effort this young man gives, game in and game out.
Brought down by number 62, Mason Hope.
Nolan O'Neill with a nice lead block, who grandfather Joe used to be a coach at Monaca, coached at Center High School, coached here at CV. My Hall of Fame buddy from Center High School. Second down, 9 to go. A little bit of a high snap. Dixon with the carry, and Dixon still trying to fight for that yardage. And he's close to the chains. Rutherford did a good job going up and getting the high snap and bringing it down right away.
That's going to bring up 3rd and 1.
3rd and 1 to go. So a little shy. Makai Ahmed goes far to the right. Now they put Ethan Shearer in the backfield. And he'll be a lead blocker for Dixon. And Dixon got a first down. He's up the gut. Dixon's going to go into the end zone. Touchdown! Mason Dixon. One thing you want to have as a great running back is good vision. And Mason saw the hole, made the perfect cut, and takes it into the end zone for the Warriors 6.
And Tom, he's been able to do that all night, find the holes right at the line and break it open in the backfield and really just open it up.
40-yard run by Dixon. Now they're going to go for 2.
Timeout. Warriors.
And they're going to take a timeout to discuss it. I don't think Mark had the personnel that he wanted. What an answer. Every time Beaver has that big play, Central Valley has broken their backs with an answer.
And I think for the first few games of the season, that's one thing that they really needed to add. They needed to have that ability to respond after big plays being scored on them or anything like that. And that's the one thing we have seen tonight is any hardship this team has faced tonight, they've been able to respond and respond well.
Well, this offense is averaging 50 points a game the last 2 games. 49 last week, 51 today. And a 2-point conversion. Ambrose throws for it, had an open receiver and missed him. So falls incomplete.
The 2-point conversion is no good. That'll take your score. Central Valley Warriors 51. Beaver Bobcats 29.
51-29 Warriors. 7:05 to go in the football game. Central Valley, as I mentioned, will travel to Avonworth next Friday night. Beaver will host McGuffey, so things get a little easier next Friday night for the Bobcats. And another tough road game for the Warriors. Although Avonworth isn't the team, I don't believe they were the last couple years, but they still have a heck of a program under Coach John Carr down there. And they love to beat Central Valley, I know that. I've been to some games down there, and their fans get into it. But Mark Lyons and his staff will have the boys ready to go. Pratt's kick is into the end zone for the touchback. That's a big weapon in high school.
Pratt's kick goes into the end zone. Touchback.
To make your opponent start at the 20-yard line. Got the bugs flying in the press box now. Ethan, where are you at with that fly swatter? Well, you have to wonder what Jackson can do. He's done everything. He might have to drive the school bus home tonight. He's been asked to do so much. And Kane this time has a nice run. He's across midfield. It's going to be a foot race, and Kane is going to win it. 80 yards by Quaylen Kane.
He's going to go in for a Bobcats touchdown.
This game has had more long touchdowns than any game I can remember, in recent memory anyways.
I have a feeling, Tom, when I'm walking by the cafeteria next week, I'm going to be watching that video on the projector in there where Coach Lyons is showing film.
Wow. Here you're worrying about Jackson, and Kane goes crazy. Kane, a senior, showing breakaway speed. 51-35 as they go for two. Oh, all of a sudden, things could get a little dicey. Jackson's going to keep it, and Jackson is going to score the two-pointer.
Jackson on the keeper. He's going to get in for the two-point conversion. That'll bring your score to the Central Valley Warriors, 51. Beaver Bobcats, 37.
Is that our third two-point conversion tonight, Tom?
For Beaver? Okay.
In total.
Let's see, one. Good ones, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1, 2. Oh, you're making me work. Yeah, 3. Well, every time Central Valley has answered, they don't even have to answer with a score. They just have to answer with eating up the clock.
100%. And the one thing that's going to be interesting here is Beaver burned that timeout on that conversion there, so it's going to be interesting with them only having 2 timeouts coming into the end
and when
here.
do you use them? Sometimes you have to use them on defense.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised about another onside kick from Central Valley. I'd be very concerned. Yeah, I think the coaches are telling their line up front, be alert. As they're moving, inching up closer to the 50-yard line. Why not? Your defense hasn't stopped the Central Valley offense, so they'll be in midfield in a couple plays anyways the way you've played, so why not take a risk on the onside kick? And they do it, and the Warriors got it. And Cole Hiltz with the recovery. Big hit by Alex Mastoris. But a nice job by Cole Hiltz to come up there with that football.
Huge for him to hold on to that ball with that hit.
That's why you put wide receivers on your hands team. Oh, my, Beaver burns a timeout. I don't know what happened there. What necessitated taking a timeout there, but that is critical. Now they only have 1 left. Sean, you were just mentioning the timeout on the extra point that they burnt. And now this one.
You have to think Coach McCreary and Coach Lyons right there are saying you keep the ball in your hands and you keep it going downfield.
We're going to get a steady dose of Mason and Jance here. You might see some run option by Stevie Rutherford, but I can't see them throwing the football unless they get into a 3rd and long situation. They want to keep the chains. What a great atmosphere here at Sarge Albert Stadium. How far, I'm so old, I can remember playing Saturday afternoon games up here before we had lights at Center High School. That was a while ago, my friend. Henry with it, and he stopped right at the line. Nice defensive play there by the Bobcats. Alexander Krasinski and Micah Poopy. second down 10. Now, this is where you might run the RPO with Rutherford. Get them out in the perimeter, and if you have a wide open pass, take it. If not, run the football. But again, with Chance Henry, Chance can take it to the house at any time. It's not that big a risk to hand him the ball.
And the question comes down to, Tom, where do they use that timeout now? They have 6 minutes left here.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think it just, I would say you'd wait till you go on offense at this point.
Yeah.
Well, now here's that 3rd and long we were talking about. What do you do here? Give credit to this Beaver defense. 2 big stops on 1st and 2nd down have forced the Warriors into a 3rd and 8. So in a bid to move the chains, they're going to have to go 9 yards. With a lot of opening on that right side. If Rutherford decides to roll that way and they call the timeout, Central Valley does. That's a good timeout because this is a big 3rd down on making sure everybody knows what they want to do. I'm not sure I was expecting to see 88 points scored tonight.
No, I to be honest with you, Tom, I thought we were going to see a little bit of a defensive slugfest.
Yeah, one of those old 21-14 games, or not even that, 21-20, something that close.
What are they calling those Big Ten classics? Big Ten football, 10-3.
Slobber knockers.
Yeah.
Slugfest, there you go. Well, Central Valley has a lot of weapons, and Beaver has Amari Jackson. Now, granted, Quaylen Kane he had the 80-yard touchdown run too, but when they put Jackson at quarterback, that changed the whole complexion for Beaver offensively. And they're going to throw it, and they're going to be incomplete. A little high for Hiltz. Now I think you have to punt the football here because you got to play the battle of field position. It's 4th and 8. You can't go for it here. And they will bring out Antonio Perry. Well, they got the one big pickup and then kind of slow down after that. So they ate a little bit of the clock, didn't turn it over. The problem is the incomplete pass stopped the clock. Good high kick by Perry. It'll hit, it's taking a backward bounce. And the ball's down by Brady Knoll at the Beaver 32.
And Tom, we're sitting here wondering what Beaver's been doing with these timeouts, but at the same time, Amari Jackson has gone up and down the field in single plays this entire second half. So maybe Coach Rouse is assuming that's going to keep going. And
that's that's a tough thing to assume. But your point's well taken. It's just that you just don't know when you want those in your back pocket in case you need them. You know.
Timeout.
Oh, I agree 100% as far as a football sense. But
Dixon down on the field, shaking up a little bit. He's all right. He's walking right off. That's just a tired football player there. Give him a little break, and he'll be back out there. Younger brother Ty goes out to check on him. Five minutes left in this football game. CV 51, Beaver 37. Mike White from the Post-Gazette here tonight covering the game. He's going to have a lot to write about after this one, I would imagine. Jackson's hitting the backfield. one of the rare times he's dropped for a loss on the night.
And there you go, Dom, proving me right there.
Yep.
Or proving yourself right there, from what I said earlier.
Met the backfield by number 50, Brendan Alexander.
Brendan Alexander 13, with the stop.
Santino Delizio.
Second down and 12. Well, 13 they say on the board. Jackson's going to try to throw for it. He just airs it up. That should be offensive pass interference. If they call that on defense, I'll be shocked. That has to be offensive pass interference. To me, Micah Poopy had his arm draped around the defender.
Pass interference on the Warriors.
Wow, that's a difficult call there. I don't know. I will say it didn't look as egregious on the offense as I thought it initially did, but it certainly didn't look like that warranted pass interference on Central Valley either. That looked like a little innocent hand checking going on. Jackson with the keeper, rolls left. Jackson into the secondary, first down and more. Finally driven out of bounds at the CV 37-yard line. This guy, you got to put a stake in this kid's heart to stop him. What a player. Jackson again. Well, like you said, if he don't break a long one, it's just the problem is him eating up the clock.
Yeah.
Good for a gain of 8. Second and 2.
Hall is going to lose yardage. Ethan Shear with another big hit. He's been laying the lumber tonight.
Brought down in the backfield by number 6, Ethan Shear.
I'm a little surprised on the pitch back to Hall there on 3rd and short. You don't want to throw the ball backwards when you're only trying to pick up a couple yards and you need to move the chains, and we got cramping on the field by Lucas Jerevac.
I'm sure when he got over there to the sidelines, the coaches came to him and said, hey, next time you go out of bounds there.
He just...
Instead of cutting back into the middle of the field.
I don't even know if he could have got there. There were so many blue shirts around him. I don't know if they would have let him get that far. Well, if Central Valley holds on to this one, and it appears they will, it's going to be some tired kids tomorrow at the JV
100%.
game. I mean, this is a warm night still. Maybe not as humid as in weeks past, but still a very warm night to play football. And both of these teams have put on a show. We've seen some fantastic individual efforts tonight.
I'd love to see if we have the stats on the rushing yards tonight from both these teams.
You know what? I forgot to check my email. Norm might have sent them to. Well, I won't have the finals, but.
Because at least here in the second half, Tom, they've been up and down the field for no matter who has the ball.
Yeah. It's been that way. It's been a track meet. Jackson's going to try to throw it. And that's going to go downfield out of bounds, clearly out of bounds.
Jackson's pass goes out of bounds.
Poopy, the intended receiver, he didn't have a chance. 4th down and 8 to go. I'm almost surprised Beaver didn't take their final timeout here on this 4th and 8, because If they don't move the chains, this game's over. That's incomplete.
I think they should have taken that timeout there, Tom.
Number 16.
That quarterback that time was Michael Derrida. That's tough to put a ninth grader in that situation, tell him to throw for 4th and 10 to pick up a first down. Regardless, Central Valley takes over on downs. Yeah, we'll see. Well, you might, if you're going to take your time out, you might as well take it after first down because it's just going to keep running the football. Henry with it and got maybe a yard, if that. Nice defensive play there by Gabriel Lutton.
Hand off to Henry. Brought down by number 22.
And Beaver
Gabriel
takes
Lutton.
their 3rd and final timeout.
Timeout. Beaver.
So 1 first down will put it away. Central Valley will go to 2 and 3 on the young season. Well, I shouldn't even say young season, midway almost, right? Beaver will drop to 3 and 2. More importantly, though, Central Valley will be 2 and 0 in the Western Hills 3A Conference with a big game on the road at Avonworth next Friday night. Rutherford's going to keep it. Got a nice block from Micaiah Med, and now they're going to call holding on him. Boy, I spoke too soon, but man, they're calling that holding on the outside receivers all night long. Mark Lyons saying, what are you going to do? They're calling it every time, guys. You know, you get a little shell-shocked as a receiver. You're afraid to even block a guy after you get called with it for so many times.
Replay second down.
That brings up a 2nd and 13 now. Inside handoff, nothing dangerous there.
Handoff to Henry. Brought down by number 22, Gabriel Lutton.
Chance Henry with the call. Mason Dixon's still out of the game since he came out with his helmet off a few plays ago. .138 to go. Henry has a first down and a whole lot more. Trying to break a tackle to get into the end zone, but he stopped at the 21-yard line. Great tackle there by Gabriel Lutton. Well, that'll put a lid on it because now they can just kneel to eat the clock out.
You have to think there, Tom, at this midway point, we want to Coach Lyons is making sure that his senior and Mason Dixon is getting the rest he needs for the back half of the season. And it's great,
sure.
And great to get the sophomore here with Jance Henry getting snaps in, getting yards, getting experience.
Well, that's why Steve Rutherford didn't play last week. I mean, it just, you had an opponent you scouted, you were pretty confident you could handle without him. And Braddock Ambrose came up big.
Rutherford on the knee.
One more knee after this one should do it. This could be a nice victory on senior night for the Warriors. You beat the team that a lot of folks thought is going to be your main threat in this conference. So final score, Central Valley 51, Beaver 37. Sean, thanks for spending some time with me this half. It's been fun. Ethan, thanks for your support as well. And, well, we got a couple weeks off, and 2 weeks from now, we got North Catholic back here.
For sure, it'll be nice.
YouTube channel.
Hopefully having Mr. Sullivan back with you on the color.
Yeah, he'll be back.
Get me back behind the screen where I belong.
Yeah, you did fine. You're multi-talented now. You have to do it all. All right, thanks, buddy. Once again, our final, we want to thank you for spending your evening with us, and now you can watch it whenever you want on the Central Valley YouTube channel. Final score, the Central Valley Warriors 51 and the Beaver Bobcats 37. Good night, everyone.